Good afternoon, everybody, and a very warm welcome to Mildenhall and Volmer. And today I'm back in my home after visiting my good friend Nigel yesterday at his layout. And today is a bit of a mixed bag. It's mainly a thank you and also to do with a Class 50027 Lion, and also to do with some updates on the layout, which isn't much to be truthful, but there are some bits to talk you through. So firstly, a little while ago, a few weeks before my birthday, I'd spoke to Steve Smith of Railway Laser Lines, and he's actually a very good friend of mine in any case, and we've been good friends for some time. And I was prompted to contact him because some time ago he'd actually done a nameplate for the what I call the alphabet group. It's the MY whatever it is, that one. I never remember which order it is, so I just call it the alphabet group. Anyway, he done a nameplate which was presented to them. I think it was Jason and whoever. And I noticed that he'd done this, and he'd put it up on his Facebook page that he had done this. So in the back of my head, it was sitting there, and I wanted to do something for my birthday, just for me. So I asked him about whether it would be possible if he can make up a nameplate for me for 50027 Lion. And those of you who follow him on Facebook will know that he's actually been doing it, and he's actually been posting photographs as he's been going along with the actual nameplate. But some of you may not know that that nameplate was actually for me, that I'd actually commissioned him to do and asked him to do for me, and he kindly said to me, leave it with me, and I'll see what I can do, and then we can sort it out. As it turns out, it was finished and ready, and he was going to the Oak Ridge trade layout in Reading this weekend. Well, this weekend just gone. And he basically asked me if I wanted to meet him up. So I met him up in Reading, and obviously you'll see, what you're going to see shortly is a clip of me actually opening the actual nameplate itself that he presented to me at Longbridge Mill in Reading. Well, actually in Shelford-on-Loddon. And a photograph. And we've had a pleasant afternoon and had a lovely lunch, and he presented me with this nameplate. So many of you will already have seen it, and many of you might not have seen it. So I guess I'll show you first Lion itself. And I chose Lion. Now the reason why I chose Lion is, many of you will know, I am an absolute fanatic when it comes to Class 50s. It is my favourite locomotive of all time. That, and followed very closely by the HST, if not equal value. But the Class 50 has always stuck by me and stuck with me. And the thing that I always took about the Class 50s when I was growing up was the fact that they were quite a niche locomotive. There was only 50 of them. And also, at the time, there was plenty of 47s and there's plenty of HSTs, and whereas the Class 50s were quite difficult to sort of spot. And also they had their distinctive sound, which is why they got the nickname Hoovers. Now, I actually, like I said, the reason why I chose Lion over all the other 50s is Lion is still alive today. And I will also add some footage of it because it's based on the Midhants Railway. And those of you who don't know, that is my local preserved railway line. It's currently in its, if I just put a picture up, that's line currently presented in its Network South East revised livery. And that is how she still is today. And they're still working on it on the Midhants, and she still runs, but she's still alive today. And I also have Lion as a Hornby locomotive in terms of model. So it was apt for me to try and get a nameplate for Lion if it was at all possible. And Steve Smith kindly did that for me. Now, something else that's kind of apparent is many of you will know that Von was to do with my containers. And I do have a very rare photograph in my possession, which I'll show you. And this was actually kindly given to me by another fellow YouTuber. He sent me a whole batch of amazing photographs in black and white of Class 50s. And this is a very, very rare working of Lion doing some container work. And it was basically standing in for a failed Class 56. It was supposed to be a 56 job, and the 56 had failed, and Lion stepped in to do the work. Now, this particular photograph has got the information on the back of it, and it was taken on the 2nd of August 1987. So I can run it with my containers, so that works out quite nicely. So this is Lion in its large logo blue BR large logo livery with the black roof. So on with the nameplate. So let me show you. I mean, many of you will follow Steve and will know that he has been posting up these photographs on Facebook, so you'll have a good idea of what this actually looks like. And he's actually put up some more photographs to say that he is able to take orders on his website to have this nameplate made. And if you have any other further requests, then to please liaise with him in terms of what can be done, sizes and prices and that kind of thing, and he'll go through it all with you. So if you are interested in having this done, please pop over to his website. I'm absolutely super impressed and really amazed by the quality of the workmanship and the work itself. It hasn't gone up on my wall yet, but we'll do at some point. I will show you, and just so you can sort of get an idea of how big this is, it's actually a full-size replica of the original, and it's actually not as heavy as I actually first thought. So there you go. That kind of sort of shows you how big it is. But yeah, that's the nameplate I have, which is so apt, and it looks so authentic as well. You know, you wouldn't have known any different, to be honest with you. And so Steve, once again, thank you so much for doing this for me, and also it was nice to see you for lunch. So the next clip you will see will be of me actually opening it on the spot, and then followed by some shots of it running on the Mid-Hants Railway, and then afterwards I'll take you on to the layout itself for a layout update. So see you shortly. So here's my nameplate. Steve's got my nameplate. I'm here at Longbridge Mill and we've just had lunch. Now this video is not suitable for under 13 because I'm using a blade. So let's just get my disclaimer in right now. I've got to try and get this. Oh, give me a blunt blade. I kind of worry why you carry blades with you.
Modelling.
There you go. Oh, very exciting now. Like Christmas. You have to ask her to clean it up afterwards. It's like pass the parcel, isn't it? How many layers is there?
Loads.
I think I still need to get this home. I think we're going to need no idea what I'm doing here. Yes, you're getting there. Getting in the end. Aha, right. Okay. Got this. Finally, here we go. Now I have to say, this is lighter than what I expected. And I'm hoping I can get this out. You're going to see this before I do. This will say Lion by Nature 50027. This is so cool. You know, this isn't anywhere near as heavy as I thought. I thought I would get
MDF light.
Huh?
MDF light.
Yeah. Steve, I'm so honoured. Gosh. Oh my god, that's so beautiful. That looks exactly the same. It really does. I'd be so intrigued to take it to the watercress side and put it up against it just to see, but you'd be hard pushed, wouldn't you, to see that? God, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So I hope you enjoyed those clips, and I'll now take you on to the layout update. And some time ago, probably about a year ago now, I bought this, a Bachmann Class 450 EMU. Now this thing has not run on my layout since. And some will probably say, yeah, that's true, I've never seen that before. So the reason why it hasn't run on my layout is because of the fact of the way that it's connected. And so one of the things that I'm really looking to get done whilst I'm off for the rest of this week is possibly trying to get a bit of a filler yard built so I can actually leave these coupled up. And it's the only reason why this train has not run, is that with when it's a 2-car unit, I don't mind so much, but when you've got 4-car units which are all interconnected, once they're on the layout, I like to try and leave them on the layout. But as you guys know, I don't have a filler yard at the moment, so I don't want to keep pulling them apart and all the rest of it. So anyway, I got this one. But this week, I got this one. So I've now got 2 sets of Bachmann Class 450s, EMUs. Why I've got 2 is basically because predominantly my area and my station is South West Trains. And what was happening is that Kerno Models, I was at Kerno's, some of you may have seen my post on Facebook, I was in Kerno's earlier last week, and I was meant to get that Bachmann 450 from them because they were doing it at a really special bargain price, non-weathered, for £225. Now when you think about how much an individual loco will cost you, for example, the Hatton 66 is going to be £150 basic. Excuse me. And that is generally the going rate for a locomotive these days. It's £150. So when you think about it, this is a 4-car unit for 225. It really was a bargain. However, unfortunately, it wasn't available no more because they sold out, because obviously other people had cottoned onto it. And I managed to pick up my second one, which was this one, through eBay. And this one's actually slightly better because although I paid slightly more, which is £240, which is still really, really cracking price for a 4-car unit, mind you, brand new, never been used. This is actually another weathered version, which is the same as what I've already got already. So the plan is to renumber one of them, and so I've got 2 different sets, as it were. So that was part of the update. So I've got 2 sets, but like I said, I'm hoping to get, because I did order some Mildenhall TMD transfers a while ago, and I'm still hoping that I might still do something, and I'll show you sort of in what area I'm going to be doing it over there shortly. So whilst we're here at the layout, one of the things that I've done, and like I said, it isn't very much what I've done to the layout, is basically I've been working on this little corner, and this is my old warehouse unit from Ringwood South, and basically I was turning it into a disused warehouse that it's about to be knocked down, and I managed to pick up this crane or excavator from eBay, brand new, £1. So I thought, well, that can't be argued. So I'm kind of styling it out like it's going to knock the building down. I did want to try and get something with a wrecking ball, but I couldn't really find anything. I've also added a keep out sign. I've boarded up the windows, I've boarded up the door, and I've also put some rubbish kindly from Gary over at Cheap Tech. So he's supplied me with the rubbish to just sort of dump here and there. I've got a portaloo, got some pallets, an old tyre, and also a few other bits and pieces. The only other thing that I've been doing with the layout is to be adding some more fencing. And I can't remember if I showed you this before, but basically I've almost completed all the fencing all the way down to the end. There's a couple of bits missing which I've kind of hidden with those 2 containers to cover the gap, but frustratingly I'm just a couple of stretches short of that. So whilst at Kerno's, and I didn't get lucky with the Bachmann 450, I managed to pick up this, which is a 45-foot container by Dreambox, and it's a twin pack, and it cost me £9.95, and basically it's just for the 45-foot containers on their own, no wagons. And there are two Dreambox ones. That's one of them there. As light on it is coming through. As you can see, pulling the Mark IIs. The other one is that blue one directly in front of you. Now if I move that one out of the way slightly, you can see where it says Dreambox. So that's the two that you get for $9.95. So I managed to pick up 2 containers from Kerno's. And that pretty much concludes the layout update. So we're just going to have a couple of running shots of the 50 and the 66 going around. So that concludes the end of the video, and thank you once again for watching and tuning in, and thank you for Steve Smith for doing my nameplate. And if you fancy having something similar done, then please feel free to contact him via his Facebook page or via his website, Railway Laser Lines. And until the next time, it's goodbye from me and Mildenhall and Volmer. So bye bye. Bye bye.